What's up, everybody? Just a few days ago, we got Season 5 of Modern Warfare 3 in Warzone, and as with any new season, we got two new weapons. We got the return of the STG-44, which we talked about yesterday's video, and I'll link that down below, and we got the new Static HV SMG, which is what we're talking about today. Now, spoiler on the STG, it's absolutely the mid-range small map meta. The Static, I can't say as much. With the Static, you can achieve a faster time to kill than all the other SMGs, but you have to hit more headshots for that. And I think the Superior is the overall more consistent SMG. But if you're hitting your good shots, you're hitting your headshots and all that, then you will kill faster with the Static HV. But then the other negative is the Superior's only nerf this season was to its movement, and it still is a really fast-moving SMG to carry around the map. And the Static HV isn't. The Static HV is overall pretty slow. Like usual, we're going to go through the loadout, and then we'll hop over to True Game Data. And when we go to True Game Data, you'll see that the movement speed is just a lot slower on the Static than the Superior, and slower than the couple other SMGs I compare it to. But I definitely think it's an SMG worth considering. It's got very good damage range, second only to the Superior, and I think it's only second when you're hitting headshots with the Superior for damage range. But it's like second in range. It's either second or first in time to kill in most scenarios. And it's definitely an SMG worth using, especially if you're tired of using the Superior. So it's one that I would recommend. The loadout I have today, of course, like always, can have a few tweaks to change to different play styles. We're probably not going to talk about the hipfire attack stance build because I just don't think that's as popular as ADS. And I personally don't use it, so I don't want to speak on it. But let's go ahead and jump into the loadout, and I'll show you what I got for you. Okay, so we're going to start off with the fact that there is no magazine attachment. It is a 50-round mag and a 50-round mag only, kind of like how the PDSW works. And I believe the, whatever they call the PP buys now, I think it doesn't have a mag attachment as well. But there's been guns before where there is no mag attachment, and this is one of them. So it's going to free up an attachment slot, which for me automatically becomes optic. Use the optic of your choice. I'm using the Moore's red dot. I think it's a super underrated optic. But, you know, slate reflector, NIDAR, Jack glassless, which we'll talk about more in just a second. But whatever optic, that's obviously where your new attachment slot should go. And I'm using the Moore's red dot. So where I said I want to talk about the Jack glassless is here. I am still using the ZEM 35 compensated flash hider. It doesn't take you off the map, but it shortens your radar pings. A lot of people are moving to the quartermaster, which is what I definitely recommend on long range builds. But you do hurt your aim down sight speed and your sprint to fire speed, and this new SMG is already kind of at a disadvantage with movement and mobility related stuff. And so I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. You get more gun and recoil control, but you hurt that ADS. And so with this, I definitely wouldn't recommend the Jack glasses. But if you want to go to like the compensated flash hider, which I believe does hurt your ADS less, and it's only 1%, 2% for the quartermaster on SMGs. But I don't think you necessarily need the extra recoil control. But you also get that 6% sprint to fire, where the ZEM 35 compensated flash hider doesn't hurt your sprint to fire. So I think it's kind of up to you. If you go with this, with the quartermaster suppressor, I would not recommend the Jack glassless, just because now you're adding even more ADS time to a slower SMG. Where we kind of also deal with the ADS time is with the XRK Edge BW4 hand stop. Now, if you switch to the DR6, you actually get better ADS speed benefits, but the other big downfall of the Static is going to be its movement, and the movement benefits are way better on the BW4 hand stop versus the DR6 hand stop. And so I am going to favor the movement here, but it is worth considering using the DR6, which is what I end up using on most SMGs. Then our final attachment ends up being the Spry 34 light stock. It helps with movement speed, sprint speed, aim down sight speed, aim walking speed, all stuff you need. It is going to hurt the aim firing stability, so another reason to consider the Jack glassless. Aim, idle, sway, and gun kick control. Not as worried about the aim, idle, sway. The other stocks help hipfire and tack spread. I'm sure if you're doing a hipfire tack stance build, then the SL's tack hive V4 is going to be what you go with. The Guardian stock hurts ADS and hurts hipfire and tack. It helps recoil control, but I don't think you really need it. And then the heavy stock hurts all your aim speed movements. It's the exact opposite of the Spry, but it really helps your recoil and gun control. I don't think you need it. And then, of course, no stock. We know no stock makes guns crazy, but maybe if you're running a hipfire, I mean, it helps the hipfire spread, so maybe if you're running a hipfire build, you go with the no stock. But this is the loadout I would recommend. Not a lot that I would change. You could, if you don't mind the iron sights, and they're not the worst, but I don't think they're the best, you could drop the iron sights and go with, actually there's actually not a better ammo. Thought there was. Ignore me on that. I mean, you could go with the laser. I would go with the optic. Of course, the rear grip is blocked by the light stock. And you can go to the rear grips, and the Warcat grip helps with sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed. So, kind of worth considering. The Thar grip helps with the hip fire and tack stance. So, if you're going with the hip fire build, you'd probably go with the Thar. And then the SK-24 helps with recoil and gun kick control, but not enough. So, we end up just going back to the light stock. Once again, this is the loadout. If you're just here for the loadout, this is what I would recommend running. Try it out for yourself. Mix some things up. Try the Quartermaster suppressor. I don't think there's really a barrel to go to if you go with that. Maybe you'd go to like the light barrel to help with the aim down sight, sprint to fire, and all that. But those are the changes I would recommend. This is the loadout overall I would recommend. If you're just here for the loadout, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for hanging out. Don't forget that subscribe, like, notification bell. Let me know in the comments what you think. And follow me on Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you feel like. For the rest of us, we're going to go jump over to True Game Data. Okay, and so we're over here on True Game Data now, and you can see we have the static HV. I was playing with the DR6 hand stop and looking at the stats for that. But with the XRK Edge, hand stop, the Superi with the build that a lot of people run. And once again, Quartermaster Suppressor can go on any place where you see the ZEM35 compensated flash hider. But other than that, these are pretty much the loadouts for these SMGs. I think the WSP, some people drop like the stock for an optic. And then you have to have an optic on the FJX Horse, in my opinion. But these are the three other SMGs that I would compare it to. The Superi, which is probably the overall meta for everybody. The WSPA-9, which is like meta adjacent. And the FJX Horse, which with its nerfs is kind of meta adjacent. I think the static is better than both of those, but probably falls short of the Superi. When we look at everything, we see the FJX Horse actually has the best time to kill when you just go chest shots, and then the Superi, and then the static and the WSP are pretty much dead even. When you go to just headshots, that's where the static really shines, and the static is the best out to 20 meters, and then the best at headshots outside of 23 meters, but obviously we're not hitting all head and chest shots. We're going to go with the combination values for True Game Data, where they just about estimate the average players. Where you're hitting below me are the percentages: 15% headshots, 5 head, 27 chest, 20 stomach, 13 upper arm, 5 lower arm, 10 upper leg, 5 lower leg. It's the estimated percentage. So if you hit about that percentage of shots, the time to kill now is completely on the static HV, all the way up to 20 meters, and then it's only until 22 meters that it's losing. But that's not really going to matter because we're not really using SMGs past that 20 meter mark. If you want to go ADS, if you want to add an ADS time, it's still the best. If you want to go to sprint to fire time, it's still the best when you do the combination of shots. So scrolling down to the stats now, you see the ADS move speed is actually the best. I guess for ADS move speed it is. ADS time is did they update the data? When I looked at this yesterday, it was different. I might have to refilm this whole video. Oh, wait, no. Move speed is second to the... I was so confused there. It's just the ADS move speed and the ADS time. But the ADS move speed, or the regular move speed, is second to the Superi. The reload time is third, actually. The FJX Horse is fastest, and then the Superi. The sprint speed is going to be the third best. The sprint to fire speed is going to be the, second worst? Yeah, second worst. The swap speed is actually the second worst, or the second best. Sorry, the attack sprint speed is the second best. So you're just not moving as fast as the Superi, unless it's ADS move speed, which you really shouldn't be that concerned with that stat. So you definitely move slower. The fire rate is more forgiving, but you move slower. There's less flinch against your enemies. It's got good damage range. It's definitely a meta contender. I just think the Superi will be overall more consistent. But choose between the static, the Superi. Those are your two meta choices. The WSP9 and the FJX Horse just don't quite compete. The Horse almost got in the meta, but didn't. And the WSP9 has just been meta adjacent for like 5 months now. For like most of Warzone. But that all being said, try the static out for yourself. Just like I mentioned to the loadout only people, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let me know down in the comments what you think of the static. Have you tried it? Are you going to try it? Has this convinced you to stick with the Superi, move on to the Superi? Let me know down in the comments below. And while you're scrolling down, don't forget to check out the description where I'll have the STG video link down below, Twitch link down below, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, my J Christ Plays channel where I upload Sunday, single player Sunday gameplay, which is actually today. So I might be live on Twitch by the time this video comes up, and I will definitely be uploading today's gameplay throughout next week. So follow me along anywhere you like. Try out the static. Let me know what you think, and I will see you on Urzikstan, Rebirth, Vondel, and Fortune's Keep. Get frying. Have a good day.